Most people think the Sarasota housing market is just starting to shift, but the truth is this shift already happened. And it didn't happen just last month. It didn't happen this year. It's been happening gradually over the past 12 to 18 months. The real problem right now isn't the market. It's that a lot of buyers and sellers are still operating like it's 2022. And that disconnect is where people are either overpaying or leaving money on the table. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what's been happening in the Sarasota market right this minute, using real data, what's already changed, and more importantly, what I see happening over the next 3 to 6 months, so you can make the right move depending on your situation.
So when we talk about Sarasota, we're really talking about the entire Suncoast area here. Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch, Venice, Parrish, and all these areas that are being affected by these same trends. Now let's start with the big picture, because this is where the entire story begins. What you're seeing here is not a sudden spike. This has been building for a while. So if you go back to 2021 and early 2022, we were sitting around 1 to maybe 2 months of inventory. That's extreme. That's an extreme seller's market. But since then, inventory has steadily climbed, and over the past year, it's really settled into that 6 to 7, even pushing 8 months of inventory range. And here's why that matters, because around 5 to 6 months is considered a balanced market. Anything above that, you're tipping into a buyer's territory, a buyer's market. So it's definitely not a seller's market, and it hasn't been for a long while. Now here's where a lot of people get this wrong, because they think inventory is the whole story, and it's not. Let's look at how long homes are actually taking to sell. Back in 2021, homes were selling in 20 to 30 days. Over the past year, we've been consistently sitting closer to 90 to 100 day range. That's not a small change. That's a completely different market. This isn't a temporary slowdown. This is a new pace, a new market. And when homes take longer to sell, everything else starts to change. Now let's connect that to pricing, because this is where the biggest disconnect is happening right now. What you're starting to see here is a widening gap between what sellers are asking and what buyers are actually willing to pay right now. And this has been happening for quite a while now. Sellers and their agents, don't get me started on the agents right now, they're still pricing based on what they think their home is worth, but the market has already adjusted and it's still adjusting. What's really happening right now is sellers still haven't caught up, but buyers have. And this next chart is where that really shows up. Back in 2021 and 2022, homes were selling at or even above asking price. Now we're down closer to that 95% to 96% range. And that might not sound like much, but on a $500,000 home, that's another $20,000 to $25,000 swing. That's negotiating power right there, folks, and that power has shifted. Now, if this is the first time that we've met, my name is Rob Rognack, and I moved to this paradise over 35 years ago. And every day we get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you wanting to know about Sarasota. So whether you're moving in 1 week or in 1 year, reach out today so we can help you learn about the market and the neighborhoods so you can make a smooth move to sunny Sarasota. Now let's talk about something that doesn't get enough attention, but it tells you exactly what kind of market we're in. So over the past year, we saw a wave of listings that simply didn't sell. And that usually comes down to one thing: pricing too high for where the market actually is. And we call those expireds. Now recently, you'll notice that some of those numbers have come down a bit. But that's not because demand suddenly exploded. It's because sellers are finally starting to adjust, and buyers are seeing that negotiation power. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. We still have a lot of inventory sitting on the market. So even though fewer homes are expiring right now, buyers still have more choices than they've had in many years. And more choices means what? It means more leverage. Now let's layer something in that's been affecting everything right now, and that's interest rates. We actually had a brief window earlier this year where rates dropped below 6%, and that gave buyers a little bit of a relief. But of course, recently rates have moved back to the mid-60s, around 6.4, 6.5, and a lot of that, of course, is being driven by that global uncertainty, especially with the conflict in Iran, pushing oil prices and inflation concerns a little higher. But here's the important part. Rates didn't cause this market shift. That happened a year ago. They're just kind of adding pressure to the shift that was already happening. Now, the question everyone wants to know is, what happens next? Well, here's how I see it playing out over the next 3 to 6 months. This market certainly isn't going to suddenly flip back because that shift has long taken place. What we're likely going to see is a continuation of what's already been happening. Inventory staying elevated, homes continuing to take a lot longer to sell, and sellers who are priced correctly, those are moving, while everyone else is going to sit. It's really about where they price it. So if rates stay in that mid-6 range or even tick slightly higher, that's just going to reinforce this environment. So this becomes more of a buyer's market, a buyer's advantage, slower, negotiation-driven market. Now here is where the opportunity is, and this is what a lot of buyers are starting to figure out. Because while resale sellers are still adjusting, builders, they've already adapted. And if you've ever watched my channel, you certainly know I tell you about great discounts and builder specials all the time. From rate buy downs to closing cost incentives, all that good stuff. I'm constantly talking about that builder specials and what they're doing right now. And in many cases, builders are providing better overall value than resale. They've reset their pricing. And that's why new construction's kind of quietly becoming one of the strongest plays in this market right now. And why you need to keep up with it week to week and month to month to make sure that you're subscribed and you reach out early, especially early, to see how the market and the neighborhoods are trending, what's going to happen in the next couple of months. So remember, real estate is hyper local. What is happening on one side of town or even in one neighborhood can be greatly different from other ones, and then in the next neighborhood and that and that. And when we talk, I'll give you the inside scoop as to why some neighborhoods are still hot and why others are just relatively cold. So if you're a buyer, this is actually one of the better windows that we've seen in the last few years. More options, more negotiation power, and less competition. But if you're a seller, this is where strategy matters more than ever, because pricing it right from the very start is everything in this market. And if you're trying to figure out whether now is the right time for you to buy or sell here in Sarasota, the best thing to do is just reach out and have a quick conversation directly. We can break down your specific situation, your timeline, and what makes the most sense based on where the market is right now. Just check out the info box below here, where it's easy to just jump on my Zoom calendar and discuss the next best steps for you so that you have a plan and you know what areas and the neighborhoods fit you and your family. For living and buying in Sarasota, I'm Rob Rovnak. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.